Right. Let us discuss The Lost Island by Pauline Johnson, which opens in a real kind of note of despair, in a way, a real sad, bitter note um, of the Lost Island and her yet again with Sapaluk, her old Tillicum, that yes, my old Tillicum, we Indians have lost many things. Using Indians, we have lost our lands, our forests, our game, our fish. We have lost our ancient religion, our ancient dress. Some of the younger people have even lost their father's language and the legends and traditions of their ancestors. We cannot call these things back to us. They will never come again. You may travel many days up the mountain trails and look in the silent places for them. They are not there. Which is like, whoa. I mean, at the beginning of this, it's like we are a destroyed culture. Um, but this is not a story. This is a story about the legend that comes here is of an old medicine man who's being tormented by visions of the oncoming whites of Vancouver, the great camp of Vancouver being founded. You know that the great city of Vancouver was but a dream of the Sagali Tayi. In quotes, it's got God there. I wonder if Sagali Tayi is something that's gotten put onto this, or if that is actually a figure, because they don't have the Abrahamic uh, God figures, as far as I know, in Native culture. At least not in. It's not a term I've heard, but maybe I'm just completely ignorant. There's always that. But he's kind of tortured by this thing of like, what's going to happen, that they are going to come, and that the native people are going to lose everything, and they're going to even lose their bravery. And he talks about how strong and how fearless he is, and he ends up going up what is going to become the Grouse Mountain, and he chants his medicine songs, um, and he could not wake, and he then goes off and he finds this island, and he describes this island, where he came to an island with misty shores of great gray rock, and on its summit tall pines firs circled like a king's crown, which is the last island that is described at the beginning of this story, that the old Tillicum Sapaluk describes at the beginning of this story. And he's when he saw it there, and his courage. He says, as he neared it, he felt all his strength, his courage, his fearlessness leaving him. He could see those things drifting from him onto the island. And they were the clouds that rested on the mountains, gray white and half transparent. And then, weak as a woman, he paddles back to the village, says, you need to go search for this island, and that's where you'll find all his courage, his fearlessness, and strength. And then he slept, but in the morning he didn't wake. And since that day, since then, our young men and old have searched for the island. And Sapaluk at the beginning of this talks about how his great-grandsire, his great-great-grandsire have all been searching for this island ever since. And indeed he has been searching for as well. And it is there somewhere up the Lost Channel, but we cannot find it. When we do, we will get back all the courage and bravery we had before the white man came. For the great medicine man said those things never die. They live for one's children and grandchildren. And you say, and the shadow of this island has fallen upon you. Is it not so, Tillicum? He says, yes, but only the shadow. So this is the only, I have not reached this point. Which, I mean, I'm just struck by, again, how these are stories of resistance. These are stories of the start of, not the start, but the continuation and the continuing blossoming of native culture, getting out from underneath the what has happened to them, the destruction of their society. And just struck by, just like, and these are stories of search for the island, search for your strength and fearlessness. It's out there. Whereas it kind of opens with kind of the thing of despair of we've lost everything. It's like, no, there's an island out there that has everything, and you just need to search for it, which is obviously, again, an allegory that we're getting presented here, which is fascinating, fascinating. But it's like it's literature of resistance. Um, it's kind of surprising to me as a doofus to find this in a 1911 work. But yeah, yeah, wow. All right, I will leave it there. More videos later.